Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Looking Beyond the Dividend. This week we're going to touch on Canada's banking sector and we're going to look at the most talked about, the most sought after potentially, but also the current most shorted bank in the world, and that's TD Bank. TD Bank is the second largest bank in Canada, but it does have a heavy involvement in the US. And for many right now, the uncertainty in the US is causing TD Bank to be on sale or to be shorted, or no matter how you look at it, basically cheap. So this week, we're going to have a deep dive into TD Bank and we're going to look at the involvement in the US and what might be dragging it down. And on the flip side, looking at some of the positives. Stick around. So by now, I believe most everyone understands everything that went on with Silicon Valley Bank in the US. And I believe most understand as well the rippling effect that that had throughout all of the US banking system. One regional bank having a major problem was felt all throughout the US. But how did that affect Canada? Well, this is where TD is in a little bit of a behind the eight ball, if you will, versus the other Canadian banks. Because TD is so heavily invested in the US and intertwined within the US banking system, and this is what I believe is dragging on the stock right now. First and foremost, TD is in the process of purchasing First Horizon Bank in the US, which is another regional bank. And after the Silicon Valley issue, First Horizon dropped as much as 40%. That sale is still pending, but is still expected to go through, where TD is going to purchase First Horizon for $13.4 billion. There's many analysts that believe that that's way too high a price given the recent drop in the stock. At the same time, TD is also heavily invested in Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is quite a large bank or a banking investment firm in the US, but they themselves have fallen on real hard times related back to the Silicon Valley issue. And Charles Schwab is in a real steep decline in its price as well. With TD holding 12% stake in Charles Schwab, this is also dragging down the TD price. When you couple all of that with the fact that TD is also a large residential mortgage or holds a large residential mortgage portfolio here in Canada, these factors are all kind of dragging on TD. But at the same time, there's quite a bit more on the positive side to TD. And this is why it makes it so difficult for us to try to see, is TD worth purchasing right now? Is it a hold? Or should we be getting out of it? So let's have a look at some of the most positive things that we can about Canada's second largest bank. The latest close price for TD is 79.65, which represents a dividend of 4.82% yield on its current price. And it's trading down from $93 per share in February of 2023. As I said, TD is one of Canada's best dividend stocks, and the company has a combined annual growth rate of better than 10% over the last 25 years. Lately, it's been heavily oversold given all of the issues I spoke about with the US. But over the last 5 years, TD has grown the following compound annualized rates: revenue of plus 7%, operating earnings of plus 6.7%, net income of 8.4%, and diluted earnings per share of 8.8%. So there's a lot of very positives with TD right now. So the big question here moving forward, as I said in the last segment, is it a buy, is it a hold, or is it a stock that we should get out of? Well, I'm going to end by saying this. My wife does have this in her TFSA portfolio, and it's not a stock that we're looking to purchase more of, but it's certainly not a stock that we're looking to get rid of. I am a firm believer that Canada's banking system is one of the best in the world, and it's so regulated here in Canada. I just might be a bit naive, but I refuse to see how it can fail. At the same time, given TD's involvement in the US and not knowing what the heck is going to happen in the US, there is a reason for a little bit of pessimistic view on TD. But I'm not going to say either way whether I think this is a good buy or a good sell. I'm just going to tell you that we are still holding on and we're not prepared at this point to get rid of it. If we had a bit of extra money, I would consider buying more given the current prices because I do believe it's going to get through whatever it is that's going on in the US, and I think it'll come out on the better side. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, I always state this has not been investing advice. This has just been me looking at TD Bank this week and looking at the pros and cons and where it is situated right now in the market. As I always ask, if you've enjoyed this video, I would ask you to please consider hitting that subscribe button. And on that note, I wanted to thank everyone out there, as just this week, I've gone over 100 subscribers to the channel. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos, and we'll see you next time. Take care.